We've had a lot of big announcements, particularly with our residential development coming down toward Brock Lane and possibly some on Mahaffey Road very soon. Around 60 homes going in on Brock Lane, and they've actually released the name of that. That's going to be Saratoga Villages and Saratoga Oaks. It'll be two separate subdivisions on one tract of land. So hopefully they'll start some construction at some point in time this year, early next year. We've had Spring Water Festival. Obviously that took place the fourth Saturday in August. We had a good turnout for it. It was a lot of fun. People came from all over. The week following, we had the Balloon Festival, which was really exciting. I got to go up in a hot air balloon for the first time and see the town. Scared of heights, but I'm going to tell you, it was a lot of fun. I would do it again in a heartbeat. This year, we had launches in all three towns. So that was something unique, too, this year. Some of the economic development stuff we got going on, if you look at the new Ace Hardware store that's going up, you'll start seeing they got the pad and the site work done. That was quite a bit that was the major accomplishment. That has happened, that's taken place, and now we're starting to see the steel being erected. I think they started this week, as a matter of fact. There's already some siding going on, so that's exciting to see that happening. We have Maple Bakery just opened up in Williamston. They have been packed out. It is a phenomenal place. If you want to go in and grab a muffin or cupcake or something like that, they do a jam-up job there. They've been well received by the community, and we're grateful to have them here in Williamston. In addition to all the residential development we got going on, lots of onesie, twosie homes going up. Council's taken an initiative whereby we're finding properties that are derelict, particularly on the Mill Village. We're trying to revitalize that area. The most recent, I'll give a quick success story. We had a home that was burned out on West 2nd Street, and Council took the initiative to receive that property. It was donated. Again, it was a liability for the owner. It was a eyesore for the town. And we accepted that, spent a little bit of money on it, having the home removed, and now we're flipping that property to a developer a local developer who will build on that site by the end of the year. With the first brand new home on the Mill Village, I think it probably in my lifetime on the Mill Village proper. So that's an exciting to see that, and we're looking at other properties on the Mill Village that are derelict or are eyesore in a state of disrepair to do the same thing with. So hopefully we'll see some revitalization on the Mill Village and other areas of town that are in need of revitalization. We've known growth was coming this way for quite some time, and I'll give credit to the previous administration. That's one thing that was done a very good job of planning for that growth. You know, we've been planning for ever since I've been on council, 10 years or so. We've been planning for growth, and so we know what that growth will look like. And we're wanting quality growth. We don't want just things thrown up. We know what the community wants. We've had a lot of community input and zoning and stuff like that. So we want that quality growth, and we've been able to plan on that for quite a number of years. So it's here, and we're excited about it. If you look at the housing market, the growth I think is pretty much everywhere. Anywhere you go, we know there's going to be growth, but there's only so many areas in your metropolitan areas, such as Anderson, Greenville, and others. There's only so many locations to be able to serve, and so people can come to Williamston, buy a home for less money. There's still a 20-minute, 15-minute drive to and from work. We're happy to have those areas that are available for growth. So, we've worked hard on infrastructure, trying to make sure that it's there and ready for when when that growth comes. And so we're here and we're looking forward to it.
How has the cooperative agreement with the county on sewer expansion helped with the growth?
Yeah, that's a big deal for Williamston as well. So our current plant is we have a capacity of 1 million gallons, of which the town has allocated 700,000 gallons per day, and at times, particularly during heavy rain events, we get very close or hit that 700,000 gallons. So if we're looking at growth long term, we don't have to have it right this minute, but in the near future, we would need that additional 300,000 gallons that the county owned. County had, approached our Miss Wilson, our county council member, talked with several other county council members as well as the administrator, and they worked hard to be able to come up with an agreement whereby the town could purchase that additional capacity at 300,000 gallons that the county owns. So they've had 3 readings on that, and that's a done deal. We're waiting on our ARP funds to come in. It's the federal stimulus funds. As soon as they come in, we'll stroke a check out, and that capacity will be ours. And it's based on our projections. That's going to suit us for the next 20 years plus. So that's huge. To put that in perspective, if we were to expand our plant to accommodate that additional 300,000 gallons so we could use all that capacity. An average plant's going to run between $20 and $25 per gallon. So we're getting at a bargain rate. It's a win-win for everybody. Nobody would like to see a moratorium on building, and without that additional capacity or an expansion to our plant in the next 5 years or so, there would have to be a moratorium on building, and DHEC will probably issue that. So this gives us control of our destiny for a long time, the next at least 20 to 30 years. And so that's important, I think, for the growth of Williamston and to keep rates low in Williamston. You know, we always have the opportunity to be able to do like other municipalities and sell out our water and or sewer. We've had some pretty substantial upgrades in the park. So right now we're currently working on a sound system that will actually be deployed on the amphitheater that will also have music, ambient music playing throughout the park. So during Christmas events, stuff like that, you'll actually hear, or the Christmas lighting, as you walk through the park, you'll hear Christmas music playing. In addition, that'll serve as mass notification. So if we have a severe weather event or something like that, I can literally sit right here at the desk or tie in a NOAA weather radio and broadcast a message throughout our parks and our municipal buildings to let people know that there's a situation and what action to take. So pickleball, we've ran into some issue with soil remediation. As you know, obviously the spring is in the park, and so that water table is very, very high. And we've had a substantial amount of rain this year. So what we found is if they were to go in and try to start milling right now, chances are that milling machine would sink up to its axles. So we know there's got to be some soil remediation. I've worked with the contractor. The construction was supposed to actually start in August, and that didn't happen due to those soil issues. So they're going to get us a price to remediate that soil. I expect that to happen probably in the next week or so, and then council will have to meet again and determine, you know, if they want to appropriate those additional funds to remediate the soil. But we're starting to hit our window whereby they have to have so many days of warm weather that we may have to push that off into the spring. But our basketball courts are left open to the public. We've kept those operational, and they will be operational up into probably the week before construction starts out there on the new basketball and pickleball courts. We're also looking at putting a fire pit in the park. In the wintertime, it's always nice to be able to bring your family out, sit around, and enjoy a warm fire. So researching those options in cooperation with Envision Williamston, they're heading up that project for us. So we're excited about that too. A lot of good things going on. We got Boo in the Park coming up on October the 30th. Look forward to that. We have thousands of kids come from all over. Our vendors set up out there in the park and distribute candy and let people know about their business and what they do. So we're excited about that. Shortly following, in November, toward the end of November, we'll have our annual Christmas tree lighting. And we got a lot of work. You know, I see people will comment, they see Christmas decorations starting to go up in November. And a lot of people think that's too soon, but they don't realize all the work that goes into putting it. We have to start at that time in order to be ready. So shortly following Halloween, you'll start seeing Christmas decorations going up in the park and throughout town-owned property. So we hope it'll be. How long
does it take to get all of that together in that park?
It takes at least a month, and that's pulling folks off of the garbage trucks. That's pulling every resource we have to put that together. So we're hoping we'll have a lot of good vendors, or not vendors, but businesses will set up their own displays in the park as well, in addition to what the town sets up. It makes it for a real magical event. Envision Williamston is working with us this year, in addition to Diane Lawless and her folks that come out and help with the Christmas tree lighting. Hopefully this year we're going to end up with the carriage rides. We're going to go all in and do our best to make it not only a safe place to go, but an entertaining place to go to for Christmas time. Spend some special moments with your family here in Williamston. Deck the Halls is always a great place to come out. A lot of people don't know about that, but we actually set up here in Town Hall's open throughout the Christmas holidays to come in the front door, and you'll be able to come through, come in the mayor's office. There's trees lined up all the way down all these long hallways at Town Hall, and it really is a magical time of year, and it's a beautiful place to be, beautiful place to take your family and spend some quality time with them. So we look forward to that as well. Christmas parade, the second Saturday in December at 3 p.m. historically. Now we don't have that nailed down for sure yet, but historically it'll likely be the second Saturday in December at 3 p.m.
Yeah, I've always worked with the other towns to make sure everybody can cover all the parades. And
that's correct. We want to make sure we're not stepping on somebody else's toes. They're not having something at the same time we are. So particularly with the Tri-City area, Pelzer, Williamston, and West Pelzer, we want to make sure we're working with each other. You know, we're promoting each other's events and stuff like that to make sure that they get good coverage and good turnout for their events as well. So we're currently working on some pretty major water and sewer projects. Our sewer project, again, will go from the fire department is upgrading a line that, number one, about a third of the town feeds into for sewer, and it's our last probably half mile from Main Street to the sewer treatment facility. And one of the issues we have is the piping is not only too small, but it also doesn't have enough fall to accommodate long-term growth. We're talking about 10 to 20-year growth. When we have substantial rain events, there's always the potential for sanitary sewer overflows as well. And obviously that's not good right nearby a big creek. It's not good anywhere, but certainly not good nearby a water tributary such as Big Creek. That's a water source that we're grateful to have, and we want to make sure we take care of it. So that initial project will upgrade that line basically from the fire department on Main Street all the way back to the sewer plant, upgrade it, and put the necessary fall on it that's needed to accommodate the sewerage for about a third of the town that flows into that area. Second thing we're working on is a project. It's in engineering phase now that will replace pretty much all the water lines on the Mill Village. It's a very expensive project. It's probably going to be over $1 million project, but it's something that needs to be done. I think in most cases on the Mill Village, those water lines were put in the 30s and 40s, and they're still operational today. So you can imagine they probably look like my arteries, probably a little clogged, and we've known to have tons of leaks and stuff out there. So
the citizens will really notice a difference when it's
they'll notice a huge difference. Number one in pressure, but number two in the frequency of leaks and stuff like that. Right now, we literally have homes built on top of water lines that we don't even know where they're at on occasion. You know, they may have a line that was ran back in the 30s and 40s with a home built on top of it. And they don't know till the homeowner calls us and says, "Hey, there's water flowing under a home." Well, obviously that's not good. So that's part of the use of our ARP funds. We hope to be able to leverage those funds with grant dollars as well on the state and federal level to be able to make those funds go as far as they can. But we're already spending funding from water and sewer for the engineering and design phases of both those two major projects. And again, those are important for the town for our future. That keeps us sustainable, and it also keeps us prepared for the future and any future growth that we may see in Williamston. This job it's a part-time job, okay? And it can be real easy if I come in and sign, come in and sign the absolute things you have to do, which is sign purchase orders on Tuesday, sign checks on Thursday, and then leave it up to somebody else to run day-to-day operations. I'm a pretty hands-on guy, not only with my business, but also with the town. And I found it works out very well. So I can dictate my own schedule, what that looks like, and I can be as involved as I want to be. And this is my town. It's important to me. The residents of our town are important to me, and so I'm going to give it my best. I got 3 years, a little over 3 years left to really make a difference. And I think it's a noticeable difference already. We're going to continue that trend. I'm committed. I don't know what's going to happen in the next 3 years, but I'm committed to the next 3 years of continuing that upward trend and having good quality growth and doing what needs to be done for our residents and for the town as a whole.